Please like and subscribe.
Hello, Collective. Welcome to your reading. Collective, this is a general spirit check-in, not a one-to-one spirit check-in. So please take what you need and leave the rest behind. Collective, I could be picking up on your energy or on the energy of someone who's in your energy. So if it doesn't feel like I'm speaking about you, please switch the energies around. Creator, please bless this reading. Please bring in the knowledge and the wisdom of the Most High for the collective and for whoever comes into the reading. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of activity. So there's a lot of energy moving. You could have a lot of mental activity, but this is you in the middle right now. Knight of Swords, very bold, very courageous, very clever even. You can be delicate when you need to be. You're very aware of the subtle energies within you and around you. You can be fierce when you need to be. Skillful, and sometimes the Knight of Swords can be inclined toward domination. Okay, so in the recent past, somebody's guard is either going down or going up. I always see the King of Swords as absolute clarity, like total clarity, as somebody that knows the truth but doesn't lead with their heart. They protect their heart. They're guarding their heart with clarity. They know the truth, but they're also protecting their own heart. So either the guardian is coming up or it's coming down. I feel like it's coming down, because you're coming into some very loving energy and beginning a new beginning in some endeavor. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out when we clarify. But whatever newness this is, whatever new beginning you have, it leads to a lot more activity that is going to be coming into your way, which here you are very, very much kind of like moving out of your comfort zone. That's how I see you, is moving out of your comfort zone, or a comfort zone. Things in your life accelerating, because I feel like you're coming closer to your goals, closer to your target, closer to what you've been creating in your life, what you've been pulling in towards you, what you've been asking for. But in some sense, okay, I'm hearing 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Because in some sense, there's going to be a forced step. Like, okay, how do I mean this? Like, the energy I'm getting from the cards is that whatever new beginning that you've taken or that you want to take, the seed's already planted. There's going to be activity coming in, and it's going to make it, you know, when it's like you're going to be leaving, let's say it in this term, you're going to be leaving one job, going to like another job, going to another location, a whole new place. You're so excited about it this is what you've been manifesting the whole time. Behind the scenes is this other destination, this other goal, this other workplace, this other work experience. But in the meantime, while that is pushing up through the soil of experience, because you have to let these forces align, and you have to let this physically show itself, physically show up, and that sometimes that can take time. Meanwhile, you have to get your own life into alignment. And it's almost like half your spirit isn't even here anymore. It's in the future. It's in wherever your hope is. But wherever you are, it's almost like half of you is already left. Because you have to work. You have to go back to this job even when you don't want to, or you have to go back to this relationship, or back to this friendship or family, or whatever this is, whatever situation. You have to forcibly force yourself until you're done with this, until this contract is over, and until this contract begins, physically begins. So that's what I'm seeing as a transition here. The action here leads to a sudden awareness, very much a sudden awareness about yourself, about your life. You come into a place of acceptance, understanding why you landed, why you ended up where you ended up. You had a very great acceptance about it, and you can kind of close this door now that you have an understanding of what this first original contract was about. Because even though part of this energy is in the past, it's also part of it is still in the present also too. Because this action that's coming towards you is in the process of physically showing up. It's in the process of physically showing up. So there's something coming towards you. Maybe something rising up within you. A new dream, a new goal, a new endeavor, something. But look, you're going right towards this Queen of Cups. So whatever you're doing in the current, it is definitely nurturing this loving energy. But whatever you have a sudden awareness about, an acceptance about, you can close this door now. You can now leave, how do I say this? It's almost like leaving a former version of yourself. Well, you're not really leaving this version. You're just not participating in life the same way. We never really leave parts of ourselves. We just change habits. We just choose to change our habits. And that part of ourselves, for me, okay, the old habit for me was the smoking. But that memory and experience is still a part of me. And when I need to speak on addiction, I can always lean back on that experience. That experience will always be a valuable resource now that I can tap into, that's no longer costing me life. Do you hear what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with you. Your experiences, you never really leave any of yourself behind. You just change your behavior, you change your habits, your behavior. And whatever you've left behind, or whatever you've stopped participating in, whatever addiction maybe, let's say, you'll always have the wisdom of that experience, always to fall back on, to guide you forward, to know where not to go. Okay, and that's you knowing now that you can close this door. I'm feeling this new beginning. Yes. It will show up. It will show up. It's like you have a forest gate because the new has not shown up, but it will show up. And you're going to have a new community, even a new environment. I'm seeing like a new life. Maybe you will be moving. Maybe this is a shift of your own consciousness, which makes you see everything differently. Maybe you will be going back to the same old job or the same old this or the same old that, but you'll see it new. You'll see it differently. You'll see it with new eyes. Okay, let's do some clarification. Creator, what is the King of Swords sideways? What was this? What was the King of Swords sideways, Creator? What was the King of Swords sideways? It was your guardian showing that it was coming down. Your guardian was coming down, and the King of Swords was evolving into a King of Wands. Absolutely. So yes, more sudden awareness, more clarity, more acceptance about your life. With this acceptance about your life, seeing the power plays, the power dynamics throughout your life, and understanding the language of power and understanding your own empowerment. You know, it's almost like you have an understanding that everything kind of boils down to power. When I say power, oftentimes people think I mean power of domination or power of force or might. For some people, that is what power is. But power is endless variations. The power of kindness, the power of generosity, the power of listening, the power of being gentle, the power of laughter, the power of anger. Switch over to nature, the power of a sunset, the power of an earthquake. Depends on what dimension you're speaking from. That's you know, or speaking to, you know. So I'm feeling that you've had quite an acceptance about your life and understanding the power plays that were at work in your life that you learned a lot about. You learned about the world, you learned about yourself. And this contributes already, because you're already like a holotropic thinker, you're already a multidimensional thinker, you're already a big picture seer. And these experiences and your acceptance, it's like the closure. You're coming out of a closure. Interesting, this reading is like a progression of you guys for the last year. As the door's been closing and now that door is closed, and we're seeing like you moving forward from that closed door of your process of understanding where you're coming from, what you're moving away from, what you've transformed from. The strength you have now because of where you've come from, because of what you've had to overcome, what you've had to see within yourself, how you were complicit to it, the power plays at work. Either you were the tyrant or you were the victim, but either way, they're both ends of the same spectrum of power. Maybe you're both. Oftentimes we are both. Oftentimes we are both. In fact, from my own experience of working with archetypal energies, when I'm in my victim consciousness, it's because the other end of that is the tyrant. In some ways, I'm being tyrannical with myself. And when my victim speaks up, or I'm allowing someone else to, and when my victim shows up, that's when I know something's out of alignment. Like, what is this pointing to? You know, so it's very much so. These are two ends of the same spectrum. They're like two sides of the same coin. Okay. What is the Fool? Interesting. I normally only clarify these ones, and it's like I'm going to be clarifying the corners today. We'll see what the energy calls for. But I definitely want to know what this Fool energy is. What is this new beginning creator? What is this Fool energy? I'm hearing you have reached a place in your life where you can finally laugh at yourself. You can finally look at your life and just go, man, and laugh at yourself, like, with appreciation, with like, well, we sure got through that, like, holy shit, you know, like, kind of, you know, but appreciating yourself. Appreciating your strength, your endurance, your resilience. Because that's what I feel that's intertwined in this Fool energy. Is a sense of gratitude and playfulness, totally playfulness. There's definitely childlike playfulness at work here. A sense of joy. There's a sense of joy. Queen of Cups and Queen of Cups. Yes. Okay, so there was an affirmation of justice, a system within your life, some sort of a system of power, a worldly power, was met with an affirmation of justice on your behalf. And this contributed to your new beginning. It's like the Creator is protecting your new beginning. It's like you have angels around you protecting you. And I'm feeling like this is through the people around you also. The people around you are protecting you from echoing from this contract that is now closed, but it's echoing, how do I say this? I can still see the foggy light from this contract shining, like shining. I can still see the light from it. So with that comes, that's what you're being protected from. And you've already initiated this within yourself. You've already initiated your own self-protection. This, you know, whenever tarot says you're protected, it's because you first have initiated it. Heaven will never, ever violate your will. Ever. Okay? So if you don't want protection, you won't have protection. Like it's heaven will never violate your will. That's not the way heaven works. And on the back of the deck here, on the bottom of the deck here for this specific set is death. So absolutely, you are totally, whatever you have done, whatever you have let go of, it is final. It is final. You are crossing a Rubicon. Holy. You are crossing a Rubicon. There's no going back. There's no going back. I think you know this. You're going into like new territory within yourself. And I'm feeling that's what this fast action is going to be, is the universe is like honoring you. It is as you say it is, O Master. Romans 14:14, read that. It is as you say it is, O Master. So you have told yourself the truth about a certain situation. You're not lying to yourself anymore about it. You've come into alignment. And now you're like a key lock, a lock that's been, the tumblers are now aligned, where that door is now unlocked, and there's a portal to another dimension within you. A higher dimension within you is now unlocked. And it's coming towards you, but it cost you this. It cost you that contract. The one that's still shining from the past, it cost you that one. And the behavior the behavior you participated in that helped support that contract, it also cost you that behavior, those belief systems. So whatever you've done, you have been developing self-esteem, self-love, patience with yourself, endurance, perseverance, understanding, wisdom, very loving and nurturing energy you have been cultivating within yourself. No wonder the universe is honoring you. No wonder the universe is honoring you. Creator, what is the Eight of Wands? What is the Eight of Wands? Okay, new deck. What is the Eight of Wands, Creator? What is the Eight of Wands, Creator? The Eight of Wands. For the collective, what is the Eight of Wands? Justice is coming in for you. Oh my gosh. So you were met with a calamity. Something happened. Okay, hold on a minute here. Okay, so this Nine of Wands is talking about the contract that you have come out of and how you're healing this. Okay, oh my gosh, okay. Whatever happened in this contract, there was a lot of energetic violations, energetic like power plays, power and domination plays, overbearing energy that would like penetrate your world, penetrate your defenses, your psychological defenses. It was like psychological warfare on you, even as a child. Ugh, it's so sick when even adults set up power plays with their kids and then overpower them. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, that is not cool. It's different when there's a natural evolution of a power play that child in their natural rebellion will be entering into. You know, children need to argue. They have to argue, especially when they're teenagers, because it sets them up. It creates the stress hormones required, because in stress hormones, only within the stress hormones do the stress hormones elicit the chemistry needed to overcome, to find a resolution to a problem, to a conflict. That's because of stress hormones. And when a child isn't taught how to fight or how to argue or how to debate, and they've never been taught how to defend themselves or how to articulate or how to develop their skill of communication, you know, they have a tough time in the world. They have a tough time with the power dimensions in the world. And that's what I feel, that you were met with a lot of that. Nobody really, I'm feeling like you were in a relationship with people who were very power hungry, but they themselves felt like victims, so they couldn't even receive that power. They would get into power plays with other people and they would win, but it was never enough. It was never enough. They always, almost like they had to conquer the world, you know? And even then that wouldn't be enough, because they've never made room in themselves to receive power. That's why they're always chasing it. Like, you know, like the masters say, the ego doesn't want to have, it wants to want. To really have means you have to create a space within yourself to receive that. In other words, you have to make room in your life for that which you're asking for. You have to make room within yourself and within your life for that which you're asking for. Otherwise, forget it. You know, I used to go home from my friend's house when I was a child and pray to God, please God, let there be a horse on my back step when I got there. Like, we lived in a condominium. Are you kidding me? Where would I have been able to put a horse? Like, there was not, like, thank God prayers weren't answered as kids. Like, really? Like those kind of prayers. So that's what I mean. Like, you know, there was nowhere in me that I had created any space to have a horse except for the desire in the moment. And then when that moment's over and the desire's gone, what happens to the poor horse? You know, that's why God's like, no, I'm not giving you a horse. So there we go. So, okay. Whatever happened here put you into a 10 of swords, and you went into vitriol. You went into hermit mode. And when you come out experiencing justice, this is the justice that you have brought to yourself. That's what I mean. You have aligned yourself, and I'm feeling that whatever action is moving towards you is going to be furthering this justice, is going to be furthering, acknowledging the part of yourself that is prevailing over the old part of yourself. That's what I feel is coming in to honor you, to strengthen you, to integrate, help you integrate this new change even further. And that's how it is. That's how it is. That's why the universe challenges us. When we make a new decision to make a change, the universe will challenge us again and again and again. And it's not just to test us. It's to help us integrate our will in this new direction. Can you hear that? Okay, so that's what's coming in. There's more justice coming in, more clarity even coming in towards you, more downloads, understanding your life. Okay, look what came up. Oof, okay, forced gate. So you are gonna be like wanting to get the fuck out of there. And the universe and God's like, not yet, not yet, just wait. Just wait. Oh, the tower. Yeah, you're ready to go. You are ready to go. You are just like, get me the hell out of here. Let's go. Let's get this show on the road. Yeah. I feel like you think you're done, but you're not. Oh, look, the Knight of Swords again. Okay. So there's going to come a point in your desire for this new change, as your will strengthens toward this new sense of understanding of yourself, your will is going to increase and the magnetics and your desire is going to increase toward a new horizon for your life, and you're going to want to rush toward it, but the Creator's like, you're not done yet. You're not done yet. There's still energies that you're not aware of that is still rooted in that contract, that you're still, you see, it takes time to pull our energies out of a contract. It takes time. It's like, how can we integrate this, Creator? What's an analogy for this? I just see all these little tendrils from your soul plugged into this old contract, and you've been pulling them out one by one, unraveling. That's what I'm seeing, is unraveling. There's a part of yourself that is unraveling as you pull your soul out of a contract. More of your soul, more of yourself gets unraveled from an old energy that was sustaining you. Oh my goodness. I'm just seeing Christ in the manger being wrapped in swaddling clothes. I heard that swaddling clothes are also like grave clothes, but they would swaddle the dead in. So you've gone through the tomb, the death and the rebirth here, the death and the rebirth. Because the tomb is the womb and you're being reborn. There's a rebirth happening here. As you're unraveling your life, unraveling yourself, and untangling your soul from a contract. Okay, I'm hearing Hagar, the story of Hagar for this. So the story of Hagar, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Old Testament, but the story of Hagar is that she was an Egyptian slave. Was she Hebrew or was she Egyptian? I'm pretty sure she was Egyptian. I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. She was born into slavery. And her story is that Abraham, you know, the story of Abraham in the Old Testament, well, his wife Sarah was barren. She couldn't have any children. She didn't have any children. She never had any children. And the women in the temple used to make fun of her and poke and mock her because she's married to this powerful Abraham who's very wealthy and rich, but yet she has no children. And people are like, oh, poor Abraham, you know, he's such this powerful man in God, and yet he's married to her, you know, who was obviously cursed. And this is what people would say about her, or so what it implies in the Old Testament. And so she had a head servant who was her head servant, and her head servant's name was Hagar. And Sarah convinced Abraham to sleep with Hagar to get her pregnant, because Sarah came up with this idea that if her head servant, her main head maid, got pregnant, Sarah herself would become esteemed. So Abraham just did as he was told. He didn't care. He slept with her, and then he removed himself from the whole friggin' drama. And when Sarah went to the temple with her pregnant head servant, her plan backfired. The favor did not fall from the other women onto Sarah, it fell onto Hagar. Hagar got the reward. Hagar got the acknowledgement. Hagar got the power. Hear this. So Sarah was very angry, and she started to abuse and beat up Sarah while she was pregnant, and Sarah ran away into the desert. And an angel met her there, and this is the part I see. Because part of you is still in irons in this old contract. So, okay, let me finish this story here. So Sarah, the angel asks her, where are you coming from and where are you going? Basically, he's asking her, who are you? And the first thing Sarah does is identify herself as a slave. She's just gained her freedom, but she still sees herself as a slave. And this is what I'm seeing for you. You have released yourself from a contract that was in the same way some sort of a power dynamic. Slave and master, domination, whatever. I don't mean this like in like a BDSM creepy way. I'm talking about like dynamics within toxic relationships within people. And you've released yourself from this, but you still see yourself as your mind, part of your mind is still in irons. So it's kind of like Hagar, when the angel asked her, where are you coming from and where are you going? And Hagar said, I'm a servant, I'm a slave, and my mistress was beating on me. She told the angel the whole thing. The angel didn't care about the story. The angel cared about who she said she was. Okay, let me give you, creator. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys some clues here. I learned this years ago. There was 3 questions, the 3 most asked questions on the planet. They did a survey, and this was like in the 70s, after the peace love movement of the 60s, I guess. And there was a whole world survey done, and the 3 most asked questions on the entire planet are, who am I? What's my purpose? And what's the meaning to life? And I'm going to give you all the answers today, right now. So who are you? Who are you? Are you a victim of these people? Because who you are is exactly who you say you are. And the universe will bow to your command. It is as you say it is, O Master. You are who you say you are. So if you're an empowered person, you're an empowered person. And you have to believe this. You can't just say, oh, I'm a billionaire. Like, no. You have to have the energetic financing to support this. You can't say things you can't energetically afford to say. Everything we say, we're making an energetic transaction, like a purchase. We're purchasing labels with our energy. We're purchasing dimensions with our language and our energy. She didn't have the energetic currency to claim herself as free. She could only afford, because of the knowledge she had, to identify herself as a slave. She couldn't afford to say, I am free, because she didn't have that language. Language is what creates reality. Language. People think, oh, it's the word of God. Any words you speak is the word of God. Period. The answer to the next question, what's the purpose to life? Are you ready for the answer? Whatever you say it is. Whatever you say it is. See, people think that there's some model out there that we all have to aspire to. That's the tribal mind. That'll work for a while, and then you'll find that it doesn't work anymore because the universe wants you to come forth. What do you have to say? Oh, well, my mom and my dad. No, I don't care about your mom and your dad. I'm not asking you about your mom and your dad. I'm asking you about you. Who are you? Why are you here? What do you want? Okay, so what's the meaning to life? Whatever you say it is. And what's your passion? Are you ready for this one? And I love this one. It's what you're doing right now. What's your passion? Your passion is what you would do if no one paid you to do it. It's what you're doing when you become aware of yourself in the moment that you're doing it. Maybe it's being conscious. Maybe it's knowing yourself. Maybe it's dabbling into the mystery of who you are. Maybe it's basking in the mystery, because it certainly is for me. So what happened to Hagar? The angel told her, you have to go back, because she claimed herself as a servant, as a slave. Okay, you cannot stand in the dimension of sovereignty if you are identifying yourself as a slave. Language creates reality. So her language sent her back to the reality that language belongs to, that energetic signature in the language belongs to. So she had to go back to Abraham and Sarah. The thing is that she'd had now a taste of freedom. She maybe couldn't receive it when she was there. She was free to walk around when she ran away. She was free to move around in the world, but her mind was still in irons. But when she went back to Abraham and Sarah, she'd had a taste of freedom, a glimpse of herself outside of this rigid frickin' role. And because of that, she expanded. Even if it was just a little tiny bit, she expanded. And when she went back to Abraham and to Sarah, she didn't fit back in that role the same way, she did not inhabit the same space the same way ever again. And the magnetics had shifted. In the relationship, in the contract, the magnetics had shifted. The power magnetics, the magnetics of the power play had shifted. Abraham and Sarah felt it too. And that's why they asked her to leave. Okay, you can go now. We don't want you around. You're pregnant. This totally didn't work out. You can't stay here. Go. And she got her freedom. So this is what I'm seeing for you. Is that what happened to Hagar really didn't have to do anything. She was only trying to honor herself. She didn't have to really think really hard. Okay, I'm free. No. She didn't have to repeat all these stupid affirmations and all this other bullshit that we do today, no. She just allowed this process to unfold. And she unfolded into her freedom. So that's what I'm seeing for you, is you are on your way to freedom. There's a process unfolding within you that you're not even really in charge of. You've activated this process. You've asked for this. And when you asked for this, it put into motion a wheel. Set forth a wave into your life that now you're going to ride. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful energy. So with this comes the sudden awareness even more. You're going to get your answers. You're going to get your clarity. You are going to release your mind and yourself from these irons, and you're going to have a sudden moment of acceptance. There's nothing to heal. There's nothing to fix. There is that which only to accept. And you do. What is the Six of Swords creator? What is the Six of Swords? The Moon. New deck. What is the Six of Swords, Creator? The Six of Swords. Six of Swords in reverse now, on top of the Six of Swords upright. And the Six of Pentacles. Okay, I see. So, okay, beautiful. Thank you. This is High Priestess energy. The Creator saying this is High Priestess energy. The Six of Swords is going to primarily be about your understanding of why you weren't ready to transition in the past. And this is what you're going to be. This is your currency out of this old world, this furthering out of an old contract, pulling more of your soul out of this old contract is through the truth you tell about this. And this is your High Priestess energy. The High Priestess energy trusts the duality within her life, within the whole of her life. She knows the good and evil are not at war over her soul. She knows the good and evil are at service of her growth. Period. There is nothing else. You can descend into lower dimensions and say, yes, okay, good and evil are now fighting over my soul, blah, 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 the age-old drama. But when you get into a higher dimension, you see now that drama is not true. That drama is unfolding, but you see how these forces are no longer at war, even though they may be in opposition to each other. But it doesn't mean they're at war. It means that they are actively working together to serve you and your growth. When you mix two opposites together, you get a spiral galaxy. You get a spiral, and we live in a spiral galaxy. So you're getting to understand more of the flow of your life, understanding the flow of your life, even if it means the opposition, enduring opposition. This High Priestess energy in your Six of Swords, you've understanding and being very clear and articulate about also your attachment to your baggage. For the longest time, this is what kept you held back, but it's not anymore. It's not anymore. You have an appreciation for this. You can acknowledge this now. In the past, when you were fighting transition, you could not acknowledge your baggage because you were so busy clinging to it. It's not that you couldn't acknowledge it, but you couldn't acknowledge that your baggage was part of the problem because it was basically keeping you alive. But once you began to develop your high priestess perspective and what you've come through already has been developing your high priestess energy. Now you have a sense of your process much clearer. And the high priestess not only has a reverence and respect for the high priestess within you, does not only have a sense of reverence and respect for your baggage, your emotional baggage, your unwillingness to transition in the past because you were still clinging to your baggage. You couldn't let go of the baggage because it was like your life preserver. It was keeping you afloat. You didn't have the strength to tread the water on your own. You needed that baggage. Now you can. And unpacking that baggage allows you in the future even to unpack, get clearer about the power dynamics that you were complicit to, even though you weren't aware of it. You didn't know how you were in on your own entrapment. But you do now. You will know, because you're going to have a very clear, sudden awareness about this because of this energy. And that's what I see. This forced gate is like you trying to have a fresh start without being ready to have that fresh start. And that's why the angel told Hagar to go back, because you're just going to create more of the same energy wherever you go because of who you say you are. You're telling everybody that you're a slave. You're indebted to life. You're indebted for some reason. And that's going to, every word you say is the word of God, and that's going to paint, those words are magnetic and they're going to pull in reality for you. Help create your reality. So this is why this energy is here. And you're going to get very clear on this, and this is going to bring you into even more alignment. No more power dynamics. You're going to have people that resonate with you. This is not a matter of when. I can hear people asking when. This is not a matter of when. Life, we do not live life by a linear 1 second. That's chronos. What I'm seeing here is kairos. I'm seeing here that you have a choice. When you're in chronos, you don't have a choice. You're stuck in a hell round, but you've released yourself. You're now entering into kairos. Kairos shows you what your choices are because of where you've been. So it's not about a question of when. It's about a question of alignment. It's not a question of time, it's a question of dimension. When you align the dimensions to truth, it's like, Caroline Myss, she states now, from when she reflects on the book she wrote, Why People Don't Heal and How They Can, she reflects back on this, and she basically says that people get sick because they are out of alignment with truth. They live a lie. They believe a lie about themselves. They entrap themselves within a certain perception about themselves that isn't true. And that's what's happening here for you. I'm not saying you're getting sick. I'm just saying that there's an old perception of your life that you're going to become aware of, because you want to move forward, and the Creator's saying not yet, because you're not done yet. If you move forward now, you are going to create another circumstance where you're going to be whatever you're entrapped in, whether if it's victim consciousness, whether it's whatever it is, victim and tyrant. Maybe you're the bully, maybe you're the victim one day and the bully the next. I don't know. But whatever happens, until you become aware of this energy and how this is serving you and how you are speaking of yourself and who you're saying that you are to yourself and to the world, you're just going to create more of the same energy that you've come out of. It's like, okay, I'm seeing the Hunchback of Notre Dame when Esmeralda's fighting with the captain of the guard and with Frollo, that creepy religious man who was like obsessed with her. And in their fight, they go crashing into this man, this old man that's locked in this Iron Maiden. He's locked in this like cage, and the cage goes rolling, and then the door of the cage flies open and shoots this old man out, and he's like, I'm free, and then he trips over a bunch of guards and ends up landing in one of those prison things where you had your head in the wood with your hand sticking out, and they would close the wood over your head to lock your head in place in your hands, so you were bent over into that. He got locked into that. That's why you're being stopped. That's why you're being slowed down, so that you don't end up in there. But you won't, because you're headed toward alignment. Your dimensions will be aligning. You just got to be patient with yourself, okay? And I need to listen to this because I am the least patient person. I'm like, hurry up, let's go, move. You know, meanwhile, it's like, okay, Joanne, breathe, stop and smell the flowers. Okay, so I need to listen to this message too. Okay, you guys, you have a beautiful night. I'm going to leave this message here. I hope this message helps. I hope it is useful for you. And I hope you can take it forward with you into your lives. Alrighty, you guys, you take care, and I'll see you in the next message. Alrighty, bye.